sell drugs, but you do it on the streets and you're deader than Google Buzz or Google Plus. There's a road made of silk if you must. Get your hustle out of chemical rush, avoiding the brush with the law. Can stop them all cause they got it anonymous. The ones that play it stupid, they get thrown in the bottomless pit. Don't even know how to cut up them layers of the onion. So let the players play pumpkin, hash function, pumping and dumping. Manipulate the market, flooded from the darknet, flooded from the deep web. Keep it a secret, every exchange got the nerdy brains trading on the frequent. Wonder where the league went. They left the cement, looking for the promised land, online beaming. Up Scotty, this the future, decentralized swag. Keep the work in your laptop bag. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison, send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison, send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living. You know rappers can't pay bills, face the tax implications of evasion when they stack meals. Got a homie Field Deuce One, taught me the solution. Dumping all this knowledge from the booth, son. Anyone can learn it if you put in the work and research on how to line up just a fraction of your worth in the dirt. Like Jesus said, keep your bones under verse, cause there ain't no telling when that bubble go in the verse. You know rappers say they about the future, but you ain't Marty McFly till you buy kombucha from a supermarket with them bitcoins. Do you get your Charlie Sheen greens off computer screens from the Philippines? Grab them leaves, knocked off Louis V's, try to freeze my assets. Long on is the cash in the mattress. Now it's all tied up in hashes, wrapped up in encrypted badges. And I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison, send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison, send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living. You know rappers like to rock chains, I rock blockchains, knock 'em out the box, I'm on Doc's main. Key ring full of water data, I gotta pray that my ASIC incinerators blow the mind like a creeper one time in my circus divine. A fine way to keep the power bill in check, my equipment is starting to sweat from the heat, crypto anarchy becoming a threat. You know rappers like to rock pools, I got fools who can't swim in, but I'm collecting the spice like a Fremen. So you fools get stepping and get to choosing your weapon, because the deafening roar of indefinite war is epic. I found a new way to debit the people, I generate an address, then I generate a sequel. I get medieval when I'm taking payments, cause I don't want the NSA all stuck up in my anus. Yeah, I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison, send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison, send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living. You know rappers like to sell drugs, but you do it on the streets and you're deader than Google Buzz or Google Plus. There's a road made of silk if you must. Get your hustle out of chemical rush, avoiding the brush with the law. Can stop them all cause they got it anonymous. The ones that play it stupid, they get thrown in the bottomless pit. Don't even know how to cut up them layers of the onion. So let the players play pumpkin, hash function, pumping and dumping. Manipulate the market, flooded from the darknet, flooded from the deep web. Keep it a secret, every exchange got the nerdy brains trading on the frequent. Wonder where the league went. They left the cement, looking for the promised land, online beaming. Up Scotty, this the future, decentralized swag. Keep the work in your laptop bag. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison, send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living. I'm a Bitcoin baron, I'm scaring the status quo. Got that crypto going at that foul upload. And the algorithm gon' get them until prison, send us all to prison. And that's a nerdy living. You know rappers can't pay bills, face the tax implications of evasion when they stack meals. Got a homie Field Deuce One, taught me to.
Hello everyone, nice to meet all of you here. You are and I am with you on DTV channel with Think Tank Community. I am Sergey Sevantsyan, immortal conductor of these live shows. And today we're starting 28th week of live daily events has begun, and today on Crypto Monday, we are running Crypto Bridge between Russia, UK, United Arab Emirates, and USA. I'm tuning my crypto moderate on and welcome my favorite crypto friends all over the world. Here they are. Kirill Nikonov. Kirill, nice to meet you here. Thank you for joining us from New York City. Yes, Patel. Actually, how I understand, you are now in Spain or in UK, but last time I know that you've been in UK. That's why today you are also from UK.
I'm representing Europe.
Okay, yes, it's good choice. Gordon Einstein, nice to meet you. Hello from LA. It's early morning there. I am expecting also two friends, two guests for today. And now, before we start, just let me share the last bit of crypto news and put a bit cherry on this crypto cake for today. I am talking about market wrap and about Bitcoin. It has stuck in 10.7 kilo in US dollars. Ethereum sticks on 3 and 500. For now, Grayscale investment scooped up over 7,000 Bitcoin in a less 7 days. ERC20 tokens stolen from KuCoin were sold through Uniswap to make a profit of 4,350 Ethereum, and the total market of DeFi tokens exceeded $11 billion for today. Guys, I'm eager to know what's going on your side. Nice to meet you here. And I think we can start from the USA, from the Kirill Nikonov. He is newbie on our, great gentleman group. That's why we're going to start from the lawyer. Kirill, word goes to your side. Yes, you are on the stage.
Okay, hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to talk to all of you. And Sergey, let's just start the discussion from what would you like to hear about the dynamics of the crypto world? Or would you like to hear about any particular project or just the impression of what is going on?
For the beginning, I think we can start from the impression, and then going forward, what's your interest? What do you do on the New York City on this? On this. No, it's not isolation yet. We can move from one cities to another. I'm talking about United States, but I think in your side maybe happening something special or something interesting. Just give us a tip.
Elections.
No,
oh yeah, that.
No, we're not talking about election. Nice to meet you here, Dmitry. You're welcome. He's also from your city. I don't know what's happened, but Kirill looks like stuck the picture. Looks like yes. Dmitry, as you already turned on your camera and you're here with us with gold on your back, that's why, yes, go ahead. Share with us interesting news. What's going up there?
In New York?
Yeah.
Doing business as usual, you see, like spike of the coronavirus again, this type of the game, but I think I see the smile on the Gordon before about when I said about the elections, it's like the same game as every 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, it's a little different.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
A little.
A little bit, yeah, because this year, this guy from EOS, Brooke Pierce, he's running.
He would be very bothered if you referred to him as the guy from EOS.
No, sorry, from Block
yeah,
One.
No, exactly, not EOS, not EOS.
What the hell?
Yeah, but I
it's Dimitri, the guy with the gold watch. It's not quite that. There's a little bit more going on, right?
I went to the opening there because it's in the Bitcoin Center on 85th Street and Broadway, and I was there when they have this conference here in New York. It was interesting to see a lot of crypto people from industry. They came there to support. Yeah.
In person.
In person, it was in person.
With masks on.
Sure.
Fantastic.
Without shisha.
Okay.
How it could be happening? Yes, without. Okay.
Kirill. I think Kirill is back online.
Yes.
He's bit
muted. He's muted though.
He's muted. Kirill.
Kirill, we didn't hear you.
I think he's frozen though. He's frozen.
Yes. Okay, just go ahead. Yes, we're
Go
going.
ahead, Dimitri. What's the latest in the West Coast? No politics.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Everything is politics.
Okay.
Yeah,
Rock
I'm
Pierce.
I'm
We've
not
done
in
Rock
politics
Pierce.
at all. I don't understand politics. Yeah, you see,
No.
I'm more from tech and product. Yeah. Yeah, I spoke like yesterday with guys from Belarus. My friend like Alexei who run Pixelplex. It's like dev shop who developed like Qtum, like VeChain, and some other like fundamental blockchains. And they are at the beginning of going live with their own blockchain. It's named like Echa. They developed this from 2017. And it's funny that you see in a lot of blockchain people introduce it for like Solidity or some other like languages. And what they did, they provide the ability so people can write smart contract on C, C++. So it means that it will be an interesting use case for the adoption from the developers. In spite that you still can like use Solidity, so you can easily like migrate like from Ethereum, and you can use also like Bitcoin smart contract. I think it will be interesting use case in the future for this type of the blockchains. I propose them to do voting on blockchain in Belarus, but they say that like it's politically better be off, just focus on business. So as Gordon
Well,
said,
yeah.
everywhere.
The problem with blockchain is it's accurate and auditable, and who wants that? Like you actually know who won with blockchain. That's dangerous.
Yeah, but you know, like actually in small countries, like in I know about the
I was being
project,
somewhat ironic, by the way. I was
yeah,
being a
yeah,
little bit sarcastic. I
yeah,
figure
yeah,
you're all from Eastern Europe, broadly defined, and so you would naturally understand all my sarcasm.
yeah.
Yeah, we get you. I'm in Eastern Europe just now in Bucharest.
No, I know. I was air quoting it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But Gordon, you know, like Makota from Saramitsu, they developed it for Cambodia, for the government, for the National Bank of Cambodia and commercial, but they did like blockchain because actually government are interested in the blockchain because they can track to avoid all the like bribery and so on. So and they can track everyone then right now.
I'm not saying there's not a government interest in blockchain, but there seems to be resistance to it in some areas when it comes to voting, especially when there's a party that maybe doesn't want everything accurately
voting,
counted.
yes, but they were interested about the money tracking.
Oh, sure, because it's more taxes. I mean, that's kind of the same idea why China and other countries are looking for central bank digital currencies. It's if you have a central database of who has what currency, separate from blockchain, it's not necessarily blockchain based, but if you have a centralized database of who owns what and what transactions happen, it's much easier to tax. It's much easier. Yeah. There's no gray market. There's no money that you can't see. Just like in Russia, I think the rule now is that every transaction has to take place on these electronic terminals and tax is collected at the point of collection, not later on. If I understand correctly, that was a bit.
Actually, Russia introduced new crypto law back in July.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm talking about something separate, but I think related, which is any vendor, any restaurant, anywhere, they have to now collect payment through these electronic terminals, and these transactions are stored centrally, and the taxes are automatically applied to the transaction.
Yeah,
I saw lots of stuff on RT about this. I saw Putin being very happy talking to the gentleman implementing it.
But isn't that good for the country?
Dimitri's giving me a Cheshire face. I can't tell.
No, but don't you think, Dimitri or Gordon, don't you think that's good for the country? Because at the end of the day, there are so many countries, and okay, so those communist types of countries versus look what's happening in India. That's a total democracy.
Yeah.
And not only demonetization, they've taken on blockchain, I think, to then look at also taxes, as you rightly pointed out, because in India, less than 2-3% of people actually pay taxes properly. So
I'm not anti-tax, and I'm not saying I was being a little bit snarky on the voting and the Belarus situation, just because I think there's powerful people who have incentive. I saw this in Ukraine part of the time. There's powerful people who have incentives to not have accurate vote counts, but sure, yes. if you have, assuming that the taxes imposed are legitimate or democratically voted in or something, I think Churchill or someone said, taxes are the prices or the price we pay for civilization. So yes, anything that improves collection, is objective, isn't waiting for people to report, but is automatic, and is closer to the transaction, like a VAT, as opposed to the way that we do in the US, which is, at the end of a period, is generally better for everyone. It spreads the tax burden more widely. It's more related to the transaction that's actually generating the new value, which is where it should be applied. I mean, it's generally good. It's generally good for governments. I guess I'm just pointing out.
Yeah, but even taxes aside, Gordon, let's be honest. Public sector.
I feel like we're going to get into it. Let's get into something.
No. Public sector, even outside taxes, can have so much productivity. Look at it from even basic government interaction with some history, from land registry to inland revenue kind of, or IRS equivalents, right the way through to immigration. I mean, I'll give my example, 100+ flights, as I was saying, in 7 months. And you can't be pissing around with visas and going in and out and always doing that time-wasted things. If government as a world organization just had some special blockchain implementation, you know the person who's going to arrive before he even arrives. All that messing around with airlines doing vetting and all that cost is reduced. So there is a positive from here. If public sector, I don't know.
So you're never going to be able to characterize me as being anti-blockchain. The whole reason I went back into the practice of law was because Bitcoin and blockchain caught my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I was making a narrow, tailored comment about the voting system and the taxing.
Same as the voting system.
Right, and the incentives of certain parties to not realize those benefits you're talking about. Some people benefit from the current system, and I'd say they're generally not people that we love, because they're people who thrive in efficiency.
Don't contribute. Don't mix your words. Just say it as it is, Gordon. It's not like.
Well, I have to go to these countries. It's for better for worse.
Same here.
I can't be in a dark hole. I can't be in a dark hole. Some guy in Thailand wrote a negative review of a hotel on TripAdvisor, and now he's in jail. I mean, it was just on the front page news. And he didn't insult the king. He didn't, break the latest majesty law, which is pretty tight in Thailand. He merely wrote a negative review on TripAdvisor and posted it several times. So I guess
but in China it happens all the time. It doesn't even hit the news.
Well,
any negative from government over there doesn't. Anyway.
So I see that we are all about politics.
I was just gonna say it's Gordon's fault. He likes politics.
Yeah, because I'm helping like a couple of gold projects. That one is like US Gold and another one like Clean Gold. It's asset-backed tokens.
Talk about that. I'm interested in that because we do gold peg coins. We have assets in a vault and all that.
Cool. Let's talk offline after that. Yeah, but I see that Kirill is unfrozen. Maybe we can hear something from him at least. Oh no, it's again frozen.
Yes. I think we have to let Kirill check it out or fix out the internet connection, because he tries to reconnect via phone at this moment. Guys, I want to share some advice. That advice is from Gordon's side, advice from the lawyers about how get prepared for being in cooperation with the Russian government, or from the beginning of the next year, from all this law starts. Just let me share something. I can do it for you. Just give me a second, please.
That's politics again. You're Putin's plug now.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not
going to talk about reducing your taxes now, are you?
Here it is. I think you like it.
Mark and Craig.
Oh my God!
We've been warning people, if you are working for an unlicensed dispensary, an illegal dispensary, and it gets raided, you need to shut the fuck up. If you shut the fuck up, you have a good chance that we can make the case go away. Case in point, 3 employees of an illegal shop were busted during a raid. 2 of them said, "Oh, I'm just volunteering here." The third guy shut the fuck up, and the DA did not prosecute the guy who shut the fuck up. They can't prove what you were doing there. If you're a customer, patient, you walked in to go to the bathroom, they don't know. You got to shut the fuck up, and it's Shut the Fuck Up Friday, so review the script. What do you say when the cop first pulls you over?
Why'd you pull me over?
And when he keeps asking questions?
Not discussing my day.
And they ask more questions?
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
And if detained, what do you say?
I invoke the 5th.
And then what do you do?
You shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, Friday. Never answer questions when the cops
Have
ask.
safe holidays.
Tip of the day.
Guys, you know,
I wasn't
I think
quite
yes.
expecting you to share.
He could have at least had a big stogie, like not a small one, a real stogie.
Okay. So what can I say? A friend of mine sent that to me. I passed it around because it is actually really good legal
Good advice, yes, for crypto owners, yes.
Yeah, but I wasn't quite expecting it on our multi-continental legal political policy chat. But it's true. It's actually true. And I guess I'll caveat that, which is you always be polite and respectful to the police. But I talked to them recently, and I was like, you know what, officer, I declined to speak about this. Thank you. No problem.
Okay, gentlemen, I think Kirill, everything looks like good happening from your side till connection is ready, until you can to speak and can share your ideas with us. Just go ahead.
And I like the new camera angle.
Thank you so much. Yeah, somehow the entire building shut down its internet, and I have to use my personal phone because I cannot use the computer anymore that is connected with the building internet. Sorry about that, guys.
I hope it's not Lukashenko who is blocking internet in New York now.
No. Trump is working there in cooperation with brokers. I'm sorry.
From EOS?
Could be. I don't know who did that. Maybe some Russian interference. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, it's always Russia.
Just don't drink the tea.
Since I'm Russian, I will always blame Russians. It will be politically correct to do.
Oh gosh, we should have next time someone from China as well. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, good idea actually.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that'll be something, won't it? Sergey, you have people in China. Next time you can invite someone from China.
Yes, I'm going to try to, because for the beginning we are going to invite people from Hong Kong. It's not China yet, or it's already.
Yeah, but you should have one from Hong Kong and one from China mainland.
Yeah, because they don't want to recognize each other. The one says that I'm not Chinese, another says you are already Chinese.
And have one from Taiwan and have one from
Singapore.
Tibet. It'll be really interesting.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about crypto and blockchain.
I see.
Yeah, no politics, no legals.
I see.
Well, if it's no legal, I shouldn't be on this call.
No.
And Kirill, please don't talk.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. All right, Kirill, stage is yours.
All right, so here's a question. Is this the year that Bitcoin truly breaks out, given the economic situation, political, yes, and just where the world is heading, and sort of the breakdown of the complete preeminence in the US dollar? Let's take a poll. Is this the year of its breakout? And I'll define breakout not so aggressively. I'll just say $25,000 US. So Sergey, yes or no? Is this the year? No, sorry, let me be clear. Does that happen before the end of 2021? Let me be real clear.
2020, I think it'll hit 20.
Okay, but hold on, that wasn't the question. Will Bitcoin, specifically BTC, not Satoshi Vision, past 25,000 by the end of 2021?
No,
so
I don't think so. I really don't.
No. By the end of 2021. Okay.
I think it'll hit minimum 20. Minimum 20.
By the end of 2021.
By the end of 2021, minimum 20.
Okay,
Really?
but you won't stake your Flash Group soul on 25,000?
No, 25 I wouldn't, because of many other reasons. I see Ethereum, once they get the version 2 and all that out, plus all these other staking players that are happening, okay, 3-4% of them, they will eat into that liquidity, because I don't think the liquidity is as high or growing based on people who are disappointed by the usual stable fiat-based currencies, purely because it's too difficult. And I think us guys, we make it more difficult for people to do transactions. When we say we'll send you X amount of fiat, the next day if it's sent in crypto, it's lost its value. And the second thing is, once the momentum and stable coins will enable that more so, but people are losing trust on all this printing of money or whatever you call it. because that printing of money is going in the trillions, and I think next year will be even worse.
So people, why is that not an argument for Bitcoin going up in value? What you just
because
said?
I think Ethereum and all those other people will take a lion's share of that, and Bitcoin has the potential of becoming some form of a stable environment between 2025.
All right, now let me ask you. Clearly, there's a lot of action happening with Ethereum-like networks and
Correct.
things that are coming out, and obviously DeFi is strongly tied to these technologies and functions, if you like. DeFi kind of lives on Ethereum and Ethereum's sisters. But is it? I don't think it's necessarily a stack-sized pie where when Ethereum and its clones gain, Bitcoin loses. I think that the more functionality that blockchain and crypto offer, the more space there is for the individual ecological niches that exist in that overall system. And so I would throw out there, I guess we're on, not much more Bitcoin is coming, and it's being minted or mined at an ever decreasing rate. Because of the difficulty algorithm always adjusting up and down based on the rate of its emission, I think there's an argument that maybe it won't climb through the roof like these other tokens, but I find it hard to believe that it won't continue to accrete in value over time. I mean, even if it is a stable coin, suppose it is a stable coin, it would be a stable coin for all the wealth that's in crypto, and it hasn't yet subsumed or taken in the world's wealth. It might be stable once it takes over the world's wealth, so we have some kind of base currency for this new world.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen yet, because becoming a stable coin for the world's wealth, and just look at what's behind Dimitri and what.
Sorry, just be so clear. Of course not yet. If it happened yet, each Bitcoin would be worth $100 billion. But yes, on the path to that, it should be accreting in value.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say that it would hit 25 or above is historical reasons, that every time Bitcoin's had a fork or something, it's kind of like leveled out, and then it does the hockey stick again. So if you're going through chart pattern analysis and all these other analytical ways of doing it, yes, it has a chance. However, I'm looking at it from a market sentiment and market demand ways, whereby people are saying, Bitcoin is not the only game in town, okay? And the newbies who are trying to get in, yes, they know about Bitcoin, but because now there is so much information on alternatives to Bitcoin, and look what Binance, for example, is doing. They're advertising like hell around the world to get people onto the Binance coin, and they are raising tons of millions that way. So at the moment, there's only X amount of what I call crypto-friendly investors who are putting that sort of liquidity in. And the rest, I think, is recycling, and DeFi is taking quite a lot of that recycled money. People are just swapping Ethereums to whatever, sushi and kimchi and shisha. My next one is shisha and all that. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of DeFi, by the way. All right. So Bitcoin, yes, it will always be there. It will always grow value, but not like the hockey stick types of growth that we've seen. 2022, 23, I can see some of that happening, because that's when it will really establish. There'll be so many use cases, from merchants to loans to swapping to mapping to staking to all of these different ways people can earn off Bitcoin. That's my view on these things at the moment. And
so
we
my slight pushback
against gold, so it's like, yes, we want to peg it against a US dollar based thing, because 70% of the world's trade happens on dollar, whether we like it or not.
When you say peg what, Bitcoin?
No, any altcoin. So even Bitcoin is not pegged with anything. It has its own store of value. It has its own store of value. So until people realize that store of value, the whales are going to keep on playing. And that's what's happening. The whales are buying, selling, and controlling the pricing.
So what I was implying by my question was there's sort of the natural way that it would have gone, and which is what I think you're addressing. But there's also 2020 is a very unique year, and I think to borrow a term from a different political sphere, it's a bit accelerationist this year. Things are moving faster than two ways. Things are moving faster than they would have otherwise, number one. And number two is they're moving in different directions than they would have otherwise. So things are moving faster and differently. And it's a weird thing. Some things are happening much faster, like the digitization of communications. The fact we're on this Zoom and every meeting I have is Zoom, and my cats are right outside and I'm home. That's a different. On one hand, this mode of communication was going to happen anyways. It was already happening, but it's complete dominance and prevailing. This becoming the default. Not meaning for someone for copy, but just doing this. Was going to happen anyways. It's just happening much faster. But the fact.
Oh, we've been forced into doing it. Let's be honest.
Well, of course.
I've been doing this for 20 years.
But would it have happened already? Yes.
But now it's forced us to do it because of the COVID situation.
No.
Why? Here's the question though: is it forcing if it would have happened already? Forcing sounds like we're doing something at least with this that we ended up doing anyway.
Mru, let me share my point of view, how it forces or how it happens. Just a couple of weeks ago, I have organized offline event. All of us coming, from one place as usual, one of the interesting places, but people do not so much ready to change ideas with each other. They are coming, just see each other, just go outside from the home. But when you are organizing every week or every couple of days or something like that, people are not so focused like here. I don't know what's happened really, but when I say, for example, you, Gordon, or someone else, just see each other, we have another conference here, Zoom, everyone come in a moment. I am personally too. Even I've been at all my time in offline events. And when now another person says, Sergey, just please meet for example in one place in another location, I have to think twice or thrice. Just is it convenient for me?
Sergey,
how much time?
I get your point. What I'm trying to say is it's forced us. Why? Because the people who were not used to this way of communication, this is business as normal for me. So I would think 10 times before wasting time in airports, flying around, wasting time with check-in and all that. I could do 10 Zoom calls in that same period. And it's more productive. So before we started this session, I was saying, my 7 months with 100+ flights, I've become more productive in this 9 months. And we even joked about it, that, it's a long pregnancy because, you can produce stuff in a lockdown situation. And in the traditional way of meeting, I think it's going to go down. We are thinking of doing an event next month in Colombia because we've launched another big product with gold staking rewards and things like that. So we're already doing it. And we are thinking 10 times just now, do we actually do a physical event where it takes 4 days out of 4 of our main board members, etc., and the team to go there?
Will it be in Medellin?
It will be in Cali. Anyway, so we're thinking whether to do a physical.
I fly.
I'll go. I'm there. I will be your keynote. I will get the crowd very excited. I'm good at that.
I'll make you that. So virtual or physical, I'll get you guys there. All right.
I've never been there, and I hear it's amazing.
Okay. You see, but this is the thing. People travel again for exactly that reason. That 100-odd flights I was saying, going to bloody Vietnam, China, Malta, Mauritius, you name it. People go there because they want to visit there. People like Gordon and me, we bumped into 2 or 3 venues like this because it's good for that look, feel, touch, network thing, which we are missing now, by the way. But we will still be selective. So
I think what we are missing Kirill from the conversation. Let him speak, because in other cases, like silent observer.
He's struggling. Oh, has he? Kirill, are you live and active now? Your webcam, voice, everything is working?
Yeah, it's good.
I think so.
Okay, fine. So what's your view?
I'm enjoying listening to you guys, and I'm quite happy with that.
Anyway, let me finish. So,
Kirill, I know about you, but I haven't had a chance to talk to you, and I haven't had a chance to learn your thoughts and how you came into this area and your approach to the legalities. So I'd love to hear a little bit about you and also your opinion about how things are evolving with COVID and everything else. But nice to meet you, and just tell us about you and your background and your law practice.
Well, actually, thanks a lot, Gordon. And well, I'm not sure that I can contribute as much about COVID because it's not the area of my expertise. My expertise is corporate and securities law. But what I wanted to contribute is to what you said exactly about the limited supply of Bitcoin and the emergence of a lot of projects right now, crypto-related projects that are attempting to create new cryptocurrencies with some type of maybe decentralized Federal Reserve where the community by its vote can influence the supply of the cryptocurrency or tokens or whatever you please to call that. And new attempts of a lot of digital currencies are emerging to exactly address what you said, that the curve of Bitcoin is going to inevitably create a lack of supply in the nearest future, or some structural changes, and it's difficult to fork.
Metered based on real-time feedback from the network, which is kind of neat. So all right. So let me pursue that with you. So if I heard you correctly, you're coming across projects where the treasury/reserve function is not necessarily algorithmically determined, but it's not a free-for-all. It's some sort of community voting feedback loop, or staking about where you wanted to go, or what kind of setups.
Yes, you described it absolutely correctly. And well, I encountered several projects recently. I'm authorized expressly by the client to call about Soromitsu project. It's XOR digital currency that they call the autonomous supply of tokens, where the programmatic part is going to be launched, and then the community will have the total control over the smart contract. And I guess forking, which is typically not something the creators of the network are happy with, now it's going to be legalized, and it's going to be encouraged, and it's going to be given to the community. I'm not sure exactly the implications about the transition from the establishment of the network, of the ecosystem, and then giving it entirely to the community without any supervising party, unlike DAO cases or something like that. But it's a very interesting concept, and I just mentioned it because that's exactly what you said about the limited supply. So this problem is usually treated or usually addressed by some authority in the country. When there is no country, when it's a subnational network, it may be a good idea to have a cryptocurrency of the next level, where there is an analog of a Federal Reserve in some way or another.
So let me look through this to do though. The comment you usually hear about Bitcoin is, don't trust people, trap. And the idea is there's lots of forks of Bitcoin, obviously, but I don't think any fork that changed the fundamental idea of 21 million total would get very far. But it's a beneficial straitjacket, and it's also a straitjacket. It's not necessarily the way it should be, given all possible circumstances in the future. But what concerns me is, by not writing it in stone and leaving it to a community, one has to define that community, that one has to allocate power within that community, and one has to, of course, red team it, kind of make it resistant to abuse, but also define what abuse is. Just to use the classic example I always think of, the original DAO hack, or where we got Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. I'm not sure that was actually abuse. I'm not sure that was actually a hack. I mean, someone did follow the code as written. Code is law. What's wrong? And I think people can argue. I've been in so many arguments about this. I think you can argue both sides, but it's not in this world where we're setting aside normal law, traditional law, legacy law, and trying to embrace the idea that code is law. I'm not sure what is abuse with these systems. What is a hack? So I struggle with this, especially in the DAO context, I struggle with this. How can you formulate a community that operates effectively over time by code and without law? And how do you set it up so you can trust that system to provide good monetary control over a long period of time, over a long time horizon? And if you come across potential answers to that, I'd love to hear it, but I've never found a solution I'm completely happy with.
Well, to answer it in a short way, carefully, extremely carefully.
Sure.
But
Okay.
I totally agree with you that it's very ambitious to declare a protocol that is going to function without any law, but at the same time will perform a function of a Federal Reserve for this community or for this ecosystem. And what I'm trying to say is not that it's a good or a bad idea, because I'm not an economist and I cannot say whether this project is going to work. But at the same time, I can say that in the same manner as gold or some metals that were used to create coins and used as the means of exchange were substituted by first printed, then digital money, which is essentially just a recognized right without anything backed by it, and that can be flexible depending on the government's volition for good or for bad. In the same manner, several cryptocurrencies may evolve and allow the community or selected members of the community or otherwise to control demand and supply of the cryptocurrency by the same way as the Federal Reserve can mint the currency. So that's just one of the approaches. And again, I totally agree with you that first, it's extremely challenging. Secondly, without law, or without regulation, it's extremely questionable or maybe extremely ambitious. And yet, it's an interesting approach.
Without a doubt, if we solve this, it's amazing. Dima, given your gold tendency or interest,
to have solved it. I address you to their white paper and to their materials whether this claim is justifiable, but of course, it's an ambitious task to solve.
Could you drop that in the general chat?
Okay,
the name?
Absolutely. I'll drop it as soon as I'm back to my computer, because it's very inconvenient to type.
Got it. No problem.
It's Soramitsu, and the token is XOR.
Okay,
And
I'll try to find it, but when you can share, that'd be great.
And there are several iterations of these tokens, and it created a lot of problems that some of the exchanges created futures for the tokens, whereas the original creators may not have been that happy to do that. It's also one of the problems. How do you later control your creation, and how do you create several iterations of the same tokens or similar tokens with different ideas? So there are a lot of things to discuss, but essentially it just addresses what Gordon, brilliant question that Gordon raised about the limited supply, the ultimately limited supply of Bitcoin.
Dima, do you have a position on whether or not it's possible to have a long-term, effective, non-algorithmic monetary policy for crypto?
I know about Soramitsu. I know Makoto for a while, helping him and for other projects, but it's not related to the algorithmic. You see, it's more about the engagement of the community. So it's not related to crypto at all. It's more related to the same problem about how community can be engaged. And you see, the voting, people need to spend resources, money to convert this to advertisement, to bring awareness so that people will be more active. So in that case, we are betting for the attention of the people. So it's the same marketing.
Okay.
Because some people just they just buy tokens and they don't care whatever happens with the networks. There are different players, and they don't have intentions maybe for participation, just for gambling.
I'm involved in a couple projects that are DAO related, and I want to be careful about what I say because they are clients, but some of this is out there in the public. But the way it's set up is requiring dynamic engagement by the members in order for them to preserve and potentially enhance their stakes or their interests. If they're simply passive and riding along, not voting, not participating, not doing anything, they're not necessarily slashed, but they will certainly be diluted as new tokens come out as a result of the group's activities, and they didn't participate and they don't receive new tokens. There's also a structure set up where if they vote for something and they're on the losing side of the vote, that has a consequence also. So obviously that has a pro and a con. You get people voting along the lines of who they think will win and not necessarily what's best.
So it's more about what we are talking. It's about betting. So you have like odds, and then you have like bets on this, and it's more about sometimes what's named predictive markets. There are several implementation of the predictive market, and it's gamification of the voting. It's not itself the intention of the people. The same as advertising, traditional advertising is bringing you some like, please buy something more, and so on. It's not your natural need. Your need is constructed by and framed by the advertisement. So the same with the voting. Some people, they just like, they don't just go to vote, they don't care, and so on. And then you need to reach out to them, and it's always related to the same fundamental problem of the education, to bring awareness, to educate the people. Okay, you see, like, as you said, everything is related to the politics at the end. And politics.
Well, I was about to say everything's related to incentives. And
yes, exactly. And incentive is, you see, incentive is related to the dopamine. So it's related to our neurophysiology. You see, like, my background is from video gaming. And in video gaming, when you need to like,
so you're the one who's enslaved my son.
No, man.
Someone did with Fortnite. I want to go find them and kill them. So, but go ahead. Yeah.
Wow.
Go ahead, please. So your background is video games.
There are plus and minuses you see in the Fortnite. We can speak about this differently.
I don't want to derail the conversation. So your incentives, neurophysiology.
So it's related to the hormone. Let's say we have like dopamine. This hormone is related to the expectations. Whenever we have like some projections, we expect, oh, maybe I will earn something, or maybe I will get, or maybe I will like do this in the future. Then it's dopamine peak. When you achieve something, then you have like
serotonin, I think.
Yes, serotonin. Yes, and you see, dopamine is actually, whenever you have like big desire, then you are more drained on the dopamine, and this is how the whole.
So you're more drained of dopamine. You're saying?
Yes, it's driving it. You became like addicted. You see, like I want buy this like diamond in this game, like for 99 cents, blah blah blah. So all the Facebook, if you remember like Facebook, how it was in past, there was no like this like line and so on. And then they changed it. All this like product guys for all this like social media, they cracked this through like hooking us to some just basic like physiology stuff. So that like if we are not aware and if we are not limiting ourselves, then we can easily be drained, like, and go to Facebook. And then I remember like when it's like they changed the layout, not the recent like ugly layout, but previous like changed like many years ago. Then like I remember like I just like went and it's changed, and then you spend like hours, and this is programming inside the product.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not in love with their new interface. I feel like my dopamine response.
I do not know any people who are in love with the new interface, but it's not related to this. It's more about that. If we connect this with what Kirill said, so there should be some resources spent to bring user to participate in the community. And I remember about the votes and all of this stuff about market where we can create some sub-communities. If we spend more time and if we contribute, then we we are kind of more interested to do this.
Well,
But
are you talking about the basic principle that if you contribute to something, you become psychologically invested in it,
yeah, exactly.
and they want to contribute more over time?
Yeah, exactly. That's you're starting to doing something, and then you're more addicted to this. That is how maybe you became addicted to crypto.
No, I went to Ukraine and I had Sala, I had Vodka, I saw Odessa.
You see?
I was like,
guys, you know,
I was like, this is cool.
I would like to go to the Sala.
Crypto Sala.
Yes,
Sala.
because out of America, but I don't know how it's happened. A lot of Americans here, no, they are representing America. They are speaking on behalf of America. That's why I'm eager to. I would like to give word to Patel. From you are as Spanish and British people, you are making share with us what interesting happens there on that side, because now we clearly see that Americas are based on dopamine and they are looking for gambling, for gaming. Now we're going, just talk about DeFi and beyond. Maybe some
not Americans, humans are. Sergey, humans are, not Americans. Human beings.
Yeah, we're not American. We're not humans.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We're
on that
all
very
human.
note, thank you, Sergey. On that very note, it is very obvious Americans, sorry to say it this way, guys, they are addicted to gaming and dreaming and marketing and all that. So it's an easier target to hit that sort of a mindset versus a conservative European mindset. In Europe, all the things that Kirill and Dmitry and Gordon talked about is incentive, mindset, risk, trust, limited availability, some sort of legalization of protocols, things along these lines. So I look at this in Europe more, not only even in the new DeFi thing, because in my view, DeFi is worse than the ICO days. ICO days, there was at least some people who said we'll get a license for an exchange or a wallet or whatever, or we'll even write a white paper and we'll even name and put faces of people. DeFi doesn't do any of it. However, the dopamines and the gaming and even the stupid naming of some of these coins and tokens who've never managed to even run a business are running businesses now with sushis and hot dogs and hamburgers and pizzas and things like that. So the mindset of the people is very much gaming and getting people addicted to it from that angle without real business, legislation, licensing, regulation, nothing. They come in, take the money, they go and disappear. And that's what we are seeing. That's what I'm seeing on a virtually daily basis with a lot of these copied coins. You know, they don't have the basics what an investor should really look for, having caught the call in property, in estate, real estate, and investments during the .com days, the ICO days, etc. And now we're seeing it all over again and worse. So my view is in Europe, people are beginning to consider this a lot more strongly. What we've developed is taking all of these into account, and we've even licensed all of these things, including financial institution, wallet, exchange, but we've also pegged them a coin with real gold, rather than, you see a lot of these gold coins who say, yeah, we'll collect liquidity and then we'll go and buy some gold to have a vault for our gold. So they've taken your money, bought the gold, and then done that. And then say, oh, we'll peg it against gold to make it stable, because most government currencies are based on some form of a gold asset in the treasury. So we've done that as a business.
They are. Sorry, I'm gonna be a jerk.
Staking as well. But we didn't
wait, government, like actual government?
Well, a lot of the treasuries have gold reserves. Why do they have it?
Yeah, but it's not exchangeable.
No, it's not an exchange. It is
name one currency that's backed by gold.
I'm not saying back. They have treasury-based tons of gold. Treasury hold a lot of gold. Even America has a lot of treasury with a lot of gold at it. All right.
We have maybe 50 billion, and the total amount of dollars floating around is in the trillions.
No, but that is because of transactions. Two different things. Because America, what they have done is so-called mandated somehow through the banking system to make sure people transact in dollars. So watch this space. What's happening with digital currencies and Chinese yuan and the Indian coins and the African coins, you will see some of that dollar-based fiat dependency with 70% or 7 trillion per day.
So you can transact in USG because it's actually it was not last time, but it's not commodity, it's currency.
No. What I'm talking about is people are looking for where, and you guys from America, you will see it even worse with these trillions of deficit being printed just now. Someone at the end of the day has to pay for the damn money. So if you have a far left people, then you will carry on printing money all the time without getting political. So how does it get paid? Raising taxes is the obvious way, and then doing all the silly things of taxing other countries for imports and exports, things along those lines. So where does it stop? Crypto with license, proper structures, proper organizations will flourish next year. So that is how I see it.
Oh wait, hold on. I heard the magic term there. Next year. So you're saying that this will kick in.
Yes.
Effectively in 2021.
Correct. See, because most countries will feel the big effect of the deficit when you'll see huge airlines, huge hospitality countries, huge numbers of not only the SMEs and small entrepreneurs going bankrupt, which they already are, by the way. If you look at most parts of the world, it's already happening. So where does the money come for to pay these guys and keep them going? More printing money. So, you know, the savvy investor and the people who have got wealth will say, fuck this, I'm taking my game somewhere else outside the fiat market.
All right, so okay, so here we go. I'm gonna throw this right back in your face. If the savvy investors are gonna say, F this, we're taking out the fiat market, doesn't that mean that the entire crypto pie is expanding and it's not just the current money going back and forth between pre-existing crypto buckets, but the pie is going to expand in general?
Correct, which is what I said. Next year, it will start expanding.
Okay, so would not some of that go into Bitcoin?
Of course it will, but not to the huge amount. You will see all these 5,000 to 7,000 coins doing staking. We are doing our staking program now. So
okay, but there's like the staking universe, and I can see them like eating.
Let me finish. If we have a bank, instead of putting your money in the bank, I'll give you our example. You put it in our wallet, license, our exchange, license, into our staking program, license, into our coin, which is gold peg, which is almost at a record high. So now you have a different form of a banking environment. You want to spend money? NFC or one of these smart cards that we have with biometrics on it, yeah? And you spend like you do, dare I say it, like the Revoluts of the world, but with a lot more security. Do you want to save the money? You save it on the card.
Now, hold on. So I'm going to give Sergey some credit. Sergey, a gentleman I spoke to, I think a couple of years ago, Matt Peterman, very good guy from InsurePal, came across this live broadcast. Matt, good to see you, and is now chatting me on Telegram. So there are live people out there watching who came across this randomly. They were apparently a bunch of characters, and this is very interesting. So
I mean, that's the whole point of Sergey doing these things. Anyway,
Sergey, well done. There's live eyeballs out there engaging in a response with us.
Okay, if you were a lawyer, I would have you on a timer, mate. Thank you for that comment. So coming back, you will see so many people doing their own, I don't like the word neo-banking, but licensed proper banking, which are a lot more secure. We give you more interest than traditional banks. We give you more interest on your deposits. We give you more interest in even your current account banking, which we do 30-40% for normal staking. So we are going to share the money rather than have 50,000 employees in big glass buildings all having costs. Share it with the community. 50% goes to the community. So coming back to what you guys were saying, incentive drives behavior. Who wouldn't want paid banking? We don't paid banking. You want to be a client, we'll pay you for being a client. Because it's your money we are playing with. So you will see a lot of this happening next year, my view. So not all of it.
I look forward.
Bitcoin. No, absolutely. Not all companies, not all monies will go into Bitcoin. But of course, Bitcoin will go higher. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. Because that is the yardstick and the blueprint that everyone has come from. So I'm not knocking Bitcoin. I'm a big Bitcoin fan, hold it and all the rest of it. Okay. So, but I don't see the Tim Draper $250,000 happening by 2022 or 23 as he keeps changing the deadline as well, right?
That's why I said 25,000. I didn't say $250,000.
No, you're realistic. And I spoke to Tom Weiss the other day as well, chatted with him, and he's giving a similar number of 25,000. And even Brock, we talked about Brock at the beginning. I chatted with Brock. Hey, Brock, what's happening?
Brock from EOS.
Brock from EOS. Dimitri is going to regret that one. And Brock was saying the same thing.
We live in the meme world. We need to create memes.
He's going to kill me. He's running for president. I went to one of his founding dinners, and if I had actually said,
you're actually helping to promote this new meme, like Brooke from EOS, for the president.
Yeah, well, as long as we keep the for president.
He's doing a good PR job for our community, so he knows it. And worst case scenario, if he even achieves US to incorporate and embrace the blockchain and the crypto market, I think he's done a
God bless him. Yeah, it will be actually.
That's all we want from him, and that's what I said. At least if you get this,
everyone understands what we need.
It's a win. But again, the reason it's not happening is too many bloody banking mafiosis, treasury, and governments would lose jobs, and that's why they're not making it happen. It's so obvious. So obvious. That's why you need some.
Okay, that's the possible. That was my point about voting. Of course, it makes sense from a technical point of view, from an accuracy point of view.
Come on.
but there's incentives for people not to do it.
Well, yeah, but most of it's to do with the banking and the public sector market. That cartel, as I call it.
And now, it's advertisement break, and now Kirill is talking.
No, I don't want to interrupt. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Kirill, do you familiar with Brock or not? Do you see somehow in this voting space in New York City, for example? Do you see him somehow? We're familiar with him personally, but do you see him?
Well, the increase in voting activity in general, or
yes. How promotion of Brock Pierce looks like in New York City? Just we're eager to know how it looks like, really, because from our perspective, he's everywhere. But from
from my perspective, so since New York City still looks like a war zone, and the restaurants will start functioning only in 2 days, so for now it's only eating out. From my perspective, it's mostly living in the office and in the apartment. So I guess all the activity that is going on almost everywhere in the United States, or at least in most of the states, is purely an online activity. And even if there are some events, I don't think that they gather a lot of people for obvious reasons. So I believe that you see more activity from your point of view because you're involved being in the internet. In the streets, it's definitely not something that you would call activity. And
let's keep it less.
I was there a couple of months ago.
Let's keep it less political.
Let's keep it less. No, it's not political at all.
There are huge gatherings as well. If you read the Trump campaign, sorry to get political, but it happens.
No, it's not political at all. It's the measures to prevent. First it's abiding the law, and secondly, it's measures to prevent the spread of coronavirus.
Is consensus going to happen? By the way, I don't know. Sorry to digress.
That's a good question.
Events going to happen? I don't think they are happening. No.
I don't think that events are still allowed. Already allowed in New York. The restaurants are allowed. 25%.
If it's New York, will definitely not be allowed. That's for
By the way, that siren in the background adds a little bit of political flavor to this discussion.
Oh, is that at your end or my end? I was wondering because I'm not far from a hospital over here, and I've got the door open because it's so hot there.
Where are you exactly? Where are you right now?
No, it's from my end. That's at my end. I'm in Bucharest just now.
I missed. Where in the world are you?
I am in Bucharest just now.
You said that. I'm sorry. I argue, but that's a beautiful city.
It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Nice place.
Can I fly over and hang out?
Hang out, Gordon. But take your lawyer's time watch out and take your don't bring that with you, and don't bring that politics here because
well, I won't be. I'm not charging you. So.
I'm sure you wouldn't, buddy. I'm sure you wouldn't. So yeah. So at the end of the day, to sum up, in Europe, I think we will see a new breed of cleaning up of these DeFi projects because they are much of the same and much of the same copycatting things. And you know the sad thing? I don't know. Here's a test for you lawyers, okay? The sad thing is we haven't learned from the ICO days. The same ICO group, gaggle, whatever you call them, opportunist people, you see them, coronavirus hit, they're all fucking selling masks and ventilators and all that. DeFi comes on, and you see a lot of them doing DeFi projects now. I don't know whether you've seen or noticed those people.
Well, let me throw this back at you. What DeFi scams, like with Sushi, the guy exited and then he gave it all back. And then with the one that happened before, Yam or whatever it is, I think it was a code mistake. And Yam 2.0 is kind of fixing. I agree it's the Wild West. I agree it's not regulated. I agree that these people didn't necessarily run businesses in the traditional sense. But I guess I'm going to challenge you. Like, what scams are you seeing?
Okay. How many tokens do you think of DeFi have been listed, and within a month or 2 months, the value has become zero to them disappearing?
Well, I'm curious. What's one where they disappeared? What is one where they disappeared?
Oh, you look at. I don't want to name so many of them here. It's not
one.
Right. But just no, not right, not right. Because I've even invested in 1 or 2 of these, so it's not right. So it's become like 99% down, 95% down. So what's happened to all the money, and where are the people? And in a lot of the cases, they don't even have a social media channel. They don't update their investors, and a lot of that is happening. So I'm in 2 or 3 that I'm telling you now, where 95% of the value has gone down. Okay? When they start, it's all this big talk, we're doing this, and you will get this percent, and you'll get that. So of course you take a punt because you've met the guy at some event. However, let me tell you, when you see 95% plus disappear in less than a month, and then no further news, it tells you a thing or two. It's the ICO days.
I agree it stinks. But I guess I'm pushing back slightly that when SushiSwap, when the gent who started that exited, he didn't seem to exit in a
he gave it back. Like, you're looking at the big ones that are published. I'm looking at, and if you go on Uniswap or one of the other analytic tools, just go and see what they were to what they are today. From all the tokens that are listed. Just go and see that. Do that. So
let me
so there's a yellow flag here. There's a yellow flag here to say
no doubt buyer beware, no doubt caveat emptor, no doubt a lot of stuff. I'm just careful, and this isn't a bone I'm picking with you, this is just in general in the crypto space. I'm careful about the word scam because some people I really like throw that word around. And there's scam in the sense of committing fraud, and there's scam in the sense that this thing is very unlikely to work, but we're going to try it. And I'm cool with, in a new area, this thing's very unlikely to work, but we're going to try it. That's a lot of drug research. That's a lot of, give me one second. That's a lot of things that when you had this sort of Cambrian explosion of God knows what we're doing, but we're going to find out, I would kind of expect. There's also scam like, I'm going to talk big, take everyone's money, then go suddenly silent, go to Ibiza and have a wonderful life with Swedish models. Okay, clearly, I am not yet convinced.
Would you call that?
I'm almost there. I think DeFi has some good fundamentals that's developing, number one, separate from the ones doing it. And number two, I'm not convinced that sure there's scams in the fraud sense happening. I'm not sure that it's more prevalent here than in sort of the general environment.
Okay.
But you're free to disagree and tell me why you disagree.
Okay, let me tell you.
Sorry guys, I interrupt you. I need to say thank you everyone, but I need to go to another meeting.
Okay.
I
Nice
was
to
thinking
meet
it
you.
will be like 1 hour only, Sergey. Yeah.
Not really. Maybe 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
I just want to hear the
Maybe
response, and then
60
we're going to say
seconds.
thank you.
Here, Gordon.
Thank you,
And it's
Zima.
good to have lively debates, by the way. I hate the
Okay,
boring
okay.
debates.
Okay.
I hate
Bye,
the
guys.
boring debates, so thank you, Gordon. Here's my view. What category do you put people in where you see what I just explained, yet if you know the people or you've seen them, they do exactly the Ibiza, Lambos, Rolls Royces, Bentleys, and all of that, having taken the money.
I put them in the scam fraud category.
There you go. So call it scam fraud, a blue
Well,
line, gray
actually, I
line,
just call
thin
it
line,
fraud.
whatever that thin line is, that's the thin line I'm talking about.
Okay, fair enough. You have much more fashionable friends than I do. I wish I could go to Ibiza
well-
and run into these people. I'm just kind of like, I'm watching the smoke signals over the mountains.
Well, I'm moving to Valencia next week, okay? And Valencia is just like across the pond to Ibiza. So trust me, you're going to see a lot of those guys there.
I thought I was
Anyway.
visiting you in Bucharest. Okay, I'll visit you in
No,
Valencia.
Bucharest. Yeah, I'll have a stay in Bucharest as well. Bucharest, London, Dubai, and Valencia. There you go.
Oh God, I need to get over to there to you guys. Hey, Sergey, interesting show. Good.
Yes, it's
dialogue.
very interesting. Yes, that's what I don't need everything to do with this community, with this interesting gentleman, because I do not need even moderate. Everything is come through the show. Everything is completely right. Yes, I can shut this down. This computer, go ahead and come in here from half and 1 hour and see that everything is already happened. Just give me a chance to see.
It's when you have interesting.
Yes. I'm looking for George. Just couple of minutes. If you have a couple minutes, just
George? Oh, that'll be interesting because now I can tell you about my shisha problem. Because he's in Dubai just now. I had a message.
Yes. Finally, it's a difference between Moscow and Dubai. 1 hour. That's one. After 1 hour, yes, Dubai going to reconnect us. Going to be enjoy us. Finally, yeah. Just couple of minutes.
He got the time zone wrong, did he?
Yeah.
Did he say he's joining? Did he?
Yes. He's already with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's joining. Oh.
Oh,
so
there he is.
So let me give him the stick. I will give him.
Okay.
I'll give him.
I know this guy.
Hey, George, nice of you to turn
Flash
up.
money guy. Okay, how are you?
Hey, bro, nice of you to turn up.
Welcome
all
to
good.
Dubai. Okay, let me introduce you. Hey, Mr. Maru,
No.
how are you?
What? It's nice of you to turn up.
I know
Look,
him. I
Shisha
know
coin.
him. Hello.
Look, Shisha coin.
Yes, I know him.
Okay,
Hello.
say hello. This is
Hi.
Hadi.
Who's
We're
that?
here for the
I can't see
blockchain
him.
event in Dubai. So where
I
are
can't
you?
see him. Who's that? I'm in Bucharest next week in Valencia.
Oh yeah, he's coming next week.
Oh, okay,
We're not
okay.
there yet, but we'll wait for you. The blockchain event.
Oh, you're doing a blockchain event in Valencia? Oh,
Yeah, live
Yeah.
one. Today is the
Live
kickoff.
one, yeah.
Yes.
oh, fantastic.
We're talking DeFi.
Who are you doing?
Hello, hi. This is
DeFi.
Tushar Shah.
Oh, hi, how are you? Hi, guys. Gosh.
Blockchain resources.
Oh,
This looks great.
You
Yeah,
guys
nice,
are missing
nice.
a big party here.
Yeah, you're always partying. That's all you do.
No party. Serious work. We
Always
only work.
partying.
Come
Yeah,
say hello.
yeah.
This is the guy tomorrow in Eco.
Oh, hey, how you doing? How's it going? I'm in Bucharest. I'm coming to Dubai in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time I'll be in Dubai
You
as well.
believe him?
Yes, 2 weeks time in Dubai, next week Valencia.
Look at the place. You don't see what you're
15.
missing? Look what you're missing.
It's empty. I'm not missing anything.
Yeah,
It's
we're
empty.
outside. We're not even inside.
Oh, really?
We
Where
have
are
shisha
you?
as well.
Yeah,
Wait, let's go sit
I,
Hey, this is the other guy. See. Wait, he's got shisha too.
Oh,
this guy.
hey. Maru, how are you?
Say hello to him.
Hello, Maru Patel. How are you?
hey, hi. I can't see you, George.
I like
great.
the virtual shisha you have.
Virtual
It's
shisha.
not virtual.
It's real.
It's a real one.
It's a real one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
His shisha is the co-star of the show.
I don't do virtual.
No, we have a real conference going on. Look, this is not an important guy. Look, this is all important guy.
Hey, bro.
This is a big
Hey,
influencer.
bro, how are you doing? Oh my God,
How's it going?
George, are you?
Good to
George,
see
are
you,
you
buddy.
fucking busy? George, are you
I told
busy?
you.
All right, guys. I'm jealous, but I need to go. Pleasure. Good seeing you. Bye.
Guys,
Bye.
thank you
It's
so much.
awesome.
Yeah, actually,
Bye.
I,
Pleasure.
Hey, hi.
See? I
Hi,
told you.
great.
What is this, lad?
Irena, so we have so far we have seen 10 languages. We're still not done. We are, no, everybody here.
Sergey, you're bad. You put George on just for me to miss out and say hello to the
Let's go
friends.
try some friends. Let's go try some friends. Okay. Here's the AI guy. Say hello to Moscow.
Hello. Hey. Oh my God.
Hey,
how are you doing?
Where are you from? Canada. You're from Canada. Well, I'm from Canada too.
American close to the area.
I'm not a real Canadian. I'm an imported Canadian. I was not born there. I arrived when I was 10 years old. Yeah, this is Moscow. You come tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Sergey is an amazing guy in blockchain, and we do the club show.
George?
I am at the kickoff of the 5th Blockchain Congress in Dubai, and tomorrow we're at the Intercontinental Hotel.
Oh, you're Intercontinental. Okay.
No, Intercon, and today is just the reception.
Okay.
And look, another person you might recognize. This is
Hey.
Russia.
Hi, Irina.
No, I'm from Australia.
Oh, she's from Australia, sorry, but she speaks Russian.
How are you?
Of course, Irina. Hi, darling.
Wait, Sergey, say something in Russian to
Hi,
Sergey.
Irina.
Sergey, where are you?
Вот, Сергей, вот. Здрасте.
Sergey. Hey, you know this guy? I'm sure you know him. Sergey is a famous broadcaster.
Hi, Sergey. Why are you famous?
Sebastiao, he's very famous in blockchain.
Is he? Well, I don't know him. He must not be that famous.
She doesn't know you. Oh,
I
boy. How many
don't know her
followers do you have?
brutally. Yes, I didn't know her too.
How many followers does he have?
You don't know? Irina is the famous lawyer of blockchain. You don't want to do tokenization? You have to go to Irina. You want to tokenize the building? You want to tokenize the football team?
What?
Sorry?
Gordon was on the call earlier.
Sorry?
You saw
Oh,
Gordon
one
was
more.
here.
Wait. One more. Come. This is
Are you teasing with all the people I know or something?
Look at that. This is from... He's number one, okay? This is the sign of Dubai.
Exactly.
What does it mean?
This means win, victory, love.
Victory and love.
Win
from Dubai.
Win, victory, love.
Okay, wait. We have more important people. This is the wife or the CEO of Agora, correct? Am I correct?
Yes.
So this is with some shisha, the real one, as opposed to a fake one. He's got a fake shisha, but here we have a real one.
Real one, you're smoking your face?
He's a smooth.
Okay, here we call Arvila and Ugly Bubbly as well. So how is the conference going to be tomorrow?
Going to be great as
It
usual.
was to be great. We finally got the approval for the event. We had to push a few strings, but Dubai is all about having good impact.
George, what's the limit? What are the limiting per event?
What's the limit parameters? 100 attendees, 200? No, 80 maximum.
80, yeah, okay.
So it's 1 every 2 meters. So there's a lot of restrictions on the people and how to put it together.
But you don't have a mask on. You don't have a mask on?
No, it matters. It's not a big deal.
I'm not meeting you. I'm not meeting you. He's teasing me. What's this?
Yeah, what are you doing there? This is Muru Patel. Maybe you don't know him.
Oh, you're smoking shisha. We're having shisha
This is
too.
real shisha.
Look, we're having shisha.
This comes directly with the conference attendance.
Yeah, you should come. Where are you now?
I will be.
Where are you? Yeah, I think it's in Romania. Are you still in Romania or back in Spain?
No, I'm in Bucharest, Spain next week. Spain next week.
Okay,
Sevantsyan on
perfect.
Saturday.
Enjoy the shisha.
So enjoy. One more person to say hello to. Wait. Another important guy. Wait. It's my turn to interview you. You always interview me, so.
Hey!
To this guy.
Mr. Patel, how are you?
Lou,
How are you,
man? Oh my God, who is that? I can't see.
Absolutely.
Hi, how are you? How are you guys?
No, I'm just a simple guy. I just get people.
I just know important guys like you.
So, and we have also Russia online. Fantastic. Where is Sergey? Sergey, say something.
Yeah, I'm here from Russia. Moscow it's very cold, and we are just expecting to all this stuff.
This has done crazy with George and
Okay, and by the way, today, although it's a blockchain event, we actually invited a lady from China. So she's got a famous title and she's very important. very
China,
influential
nice.
in the area. You ever met Maru Patel? Maru Patel is one of the top guys in blockchain.
Hello.
So say hello for him.
Hi.
By the way, we're broadcasting in 3 countries. The other friends are in Moscow. So Sergey, say hello as well.
Hello, hello. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Hi.
This is in the studio in Moscow. So we just finished a big event in the CC Forum, which we had the chance to also invite
Oh, you're doing
the Honorable Ban
Monaco.
Ki-moon
That's
as well.
where you are. Where the fuck? Now I know where you
For
are. Monaco.
Monaco. Unfortunately, we
CC
could not
Forum.
make it. We could not make it physically. So what we did is we made it virtually. So we attended remotely to this event. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for coming. There's maybe one more guy from Lebanon. Where's the Lebanese guy?
So is Ali and people like that there? Is Ali
Hadi
there?
is here as well. We'll say hello to Hadi. This is another Lebanese guy.
And Ali?
Hi.
Ali
Say
is
hello.
there?
Hi, how are you? Hadi is there. We'll go say hello to Hadi.
Hi. I just need an article on Lebanon blockchain. I just need an article.
Yeah,
I'll
he's
send you.
also one of the top blockchain guys. He's doing flash money plus Bitcoin ATMs. By the way, we still need a white label of your ATMs. Kuram is waiting in Canada, as I told you.
Yeah, okay. When I go next week, I will send you all that information.
No,
right?
I've been waiting. So without those ATMs, we will not be able to proceed very well.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Pressure is
So
on.
I will not keep you much longer.
Okay. Nice of you to turn up, George.
So anyway, this is going to be quite a big event. I mean, big, small in the sense that we're limited
CC Forum,
because of the COVID rules. We're limited to about 80 people or so with the distance. Oh, another important person. Look at that. I know I was going to miss all of them. This is the famous Tutova, Anna.
Hey, Anna.
Hello
Hi,
to Maru.
Anna. Hi, Anna. How are you?
This is Maru,
I spoke
and
to one of
we
your
have also
guys the other
Sergey.
day.
Where
Anna.
is Sergey?
Anna, I
Sergey,
had
say
one
hello.
of your guys. I had Anna's guys.
Sergey is there. Sergey, say something. What is Sergey?
I'm here.
It's like a group chat.
Sergey Sevantsyan. Oh, I'm always bad. But say something in Russian, so at least there's a Russian audio.
I know. Привет.
Привет. Okay, so pleasure. Anna
Anna
is
stood
one of
up
the
there.
best
Nice to see. Hi, Anna.
media companies.
Say hello to Anna for
grow
me.
in blockchain. Okay, good. One more guy, which is the boss in chief. Where is he? There he is. Hey, Hadi, see, we're making you famous. Oh wow!
Hey.
You know this guy?
Hi. How are you?
Oh, you don't know this guy? No.
No, Hadi,
this
no.
is Sergey, and there is Maru Patel, which is responsible for blockchain. Lovely. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Where are you from? Me? Yes. Dubai. You're a local Emirati? No. Where are you from then? Me? I've got 6 flags. Where do you want me to start? No, where you were born? Where I was born, Fiji Island. Fiji? Yes.
Wow, oh, you're from Fiji.
It's from
Bula Fiji. Tell him Bula Fiji. Tell him Bula Fiji.
Bula Fiji.
Bula.
Maru speaks all the languages of the world. He speaks Fijian? Yes.
Yeah, Bula.
Maru is one of
Tell
the
him
most traveled guys I know in the planet. Wow.
Tell him Conchi Karta. Tell him Conchi Karta.
Conchica?
Conchi Karta.
Conchicata, something like that. Yeah. Okay, so I'll put this in your ear. Maybe this you'll hear a bit better. Maru, say something. Repeat again.
Hello, Bula Fiji, Conchi Karta. What are you doing there? Having Nagora or something?
No, you're Fijian needs a bit of practice.
No, he can't hear you. He can't hear you.
He liked it. Wait, we have the organizer of the event.
Oh, no, I don't want to see Max.
Sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
Maybe you know this guy. This guy's called Maru Patel.
Yes. Hi, Maru. How are you?
Hey, hi. How are you?
We are together on your group.
Of course we are.
On your group. Yeah. So that's how I know him, or I know of him.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
Sergey in Moscow. Sergey,
hello, Sergey.
Yes, hello.
Sergey.
Hey, Sergey. How are you?
Yes. Good.
That's a nice office. Is that your office?
Yes.
That's our
office.
Studio.
Am I invited to go to Moscow?
Yes, you already invited. Yes.
The answer is yes. Okay, so we're gonna have a successful conference tomorrow. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to meet you, Sergey.
I go to a group.
Okay. See you.
And we're happy to make their event a success. Okay?
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
George.
So I'll leave you with the final views of Dubai. with the canal.
Georgie,
So you get to enjoy a little bit.
Send me a connect.
By the way, this is the location of the new tallest tower of Dubai, which is still work in progress. They have finished the foundation, but not the tower yet. This is going to be taller than Burj Khalifa.
Yeah,
It will sit
building it next to it.
a few hundred meters from there.
I see.
So, guys, it's a pleasure to be here. I know I don't have much more time left, but I hope you enjoyed. And tomorrow, please tune in on the Agora 5th Blockchain Conference and Investment, in which we're going to be discussing the hottest topics in blockchain. So we look at how we can use blockchain in the new era of COVID-19. We're going to be talking about DeFi, and we're going to have a lot of parallel meetings, but all with the social distancing in mind. There's one more project missing, which is the Ubuntu project from Africa, which is also here, but I have not seen Mamadou, so still might show up later.
Yeah,
is Mamadou there?
Yes, of course he is here, but I have not seen him yet.
Say hello to him.
Oh, there's one more guy. Hey, there's another important guy. You know this guy? Mohammed Salman. Say hello.
Hi.
Hello? It's Sergey Moscow.
Sergey.
It's
Yeah,
Maru.
Maru.
Okay, everybody knows Maru as
Everybody
well.
knows
So Mohammed is doing, you know, the MediLive.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say MediLive, but
I hope he's not doing MediLive, yeah.
MediLive is another guy in the UK. Forget
Is he there? Is he there as well?
No, he's not there. He's in the UK. So
Sunny is not there.
Block is working
Sunny
with
is in
Avantas,
London.
and they're doing the COVID-19 blockchain-based solution. So,
Well done.
so they joined
Good
us
luck.
here tonight.
Good
Okay.
luck. Good luck. Catch
So
you later.
this is all from Dubai. Signing off and enjoy.
Catch you later. Catch you
And
later.
don't forget to send us 2 ATMs to Toronto, please.
Yes. Done.
Not the virtual background ones, the real ones. We'll
Real
send you
ones.
the BTC.
You will see the real ones when I'm in Valencia. I'll send you the pictures of next to it with videos and all that as well. We're just doing the front end. We're doing the front end.
Okay, pleasure.
Because we want to do our staking. We're doing our staking through the ATM.
Okay. It's a great
that's
pleasure
the
to
big
speak
one.
with you. And looking forward.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sergey, it's a great pleasure. Thank you for having us. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Sergey.
Looks like, yes, we're chilling out. Yes, very good evening with all of you. I'm really happy.
What was it? This is George coming in and saying, look who's here. And everyone's saying, hello, bro, hello, bro, hello, bro.
Yes. It's really
Oh my God. Teasing me because he wants me there. That's why.
Okay.
Anyway. Great show.
Yes, good show.
Great ending.
Thank you for your time. Yes,
Great
I'm looking
ending.
for you every Monday as resident of
Oh,
UK
yeah,
and other places. Yes, good. Nice to meet you as well. Yes, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for your time.
We'll
See
do
you
the
later,
one-to-one
guys.
soon as well, okay?
Okay. Yeah,
All
sure.
right. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You know rappers like to rock chains. I rock blockchains, knock 'em out the box. I'm on Doc's main. Key ring full of water data. I gotta pray that my ASIC incinerators blow the mind like a creeper one time. In my circus divine, a fine way to keep the power bill in check. My equipment is starting to sweat from the heat. Crypto anarchy be